talked my dad into buying a 78 Dodge Tradesman with a 360. And my dad, in turn, taught me how to tune that engine by ear. It's an interesting experience being inside the cab of the vehicle with the cowling off, and you got your hand on the distributor, trying not to get shocked, but you got your hand on the distributor, and you're turning it back and forth, trying to find just the right timing while your dad floors it up and down a quarter-mile road. And I learned in those moments to tune an engine by ear, and that stayed with me quite a ways. And I do find that I was blessed by being less fortunate. I was blessed by being poor. I mean, we're not really poor, but we certainly weren't wealthy. And I was blessed with a lot of shitty machinery. I had lawnmowers that were just dead, broken. You know, had to figure out how to fix them. You know, compression. Oh, okay. Air. Oh, fuel. Spark. That works. With the motorcycles that I had before, ones like this, they were terrible. They were absolute, just garbage, found in the desert, abandoned widow makers with no brakes. And when I finally got them running and wanted to try and trust them just to go across town, I really needed to listen to the engine. As my loops got larger and further away from town, all I would listen to is the engine. And I find myself right now listening to the engine. And that's kind of what made me think of just this moment of gratitude where I wanted to just put a shout out to my dad for teaching me how to tune an engine by ear, for never buying me a motorcycle or a car, for making me go out and get one on my own with the little bit of money that I had, which taught me how to take care of them, taught me how to listen to them. And I am one of, I'm sure, a few members of society that when I take a trip, I'll turn the radio off and I'll rather listen to the engine of whatever vehicle I'm in. Partially because it keeps you more in tune with what's going on. You can hear the air compressor working, you can hear all kinds of things. Partially also because I ran a recording studio and spent thousands of hours listening to music over and over again. Partially because the sound of an engine doesn't remind me of anything, like music oftentimes takes you back to different things, previous relationships, things like that. There's always a memory tied to it. There's no memories tied to this sound, other than the gratitude of my father teaching me how to tune a Chrysler 360 while sitting in the passenger seat, kind of hiding behind him, and having that very unique experience of being inside a vehicle with an engine, which you can't do in any other car, but a van that has that cowling that you have to take off, and being able to hear that engine under load and being able to do the tuning on it while it was running, while it was going down the road. What a learning experience that was, and how grateful am I for that. And all of the other horrible vehicles I ever had in my life that gave me that appreciation for what something sounds like when the air changes, when the humidity changes, when the temperature changes. I can hear that now in this engine, even though this engine has all these electronic-y things that are doing stuff. At its core, it's still an air compressor, and that's what it's doing, is it's drawing in ambient air, compressing it, and moving me forward. And I'll never lose an appreciation for that. And that's why I got to thank my dad for teaching me how to be one of those gasoline forever kind of guys. I'm not a fan of purely having an electric vehicle, although I love anything that motivates a human being forward. But just wanted to say thank you to my dad. And just had that little moment there of gratitude.